My name's Audrey Balderstone. I belong to Stanborough Park Church, but I come originally from Belfast in Northern Ireland. And I'm supposed to be retired, but I work quite a lot in the church. I have some business interests, and flower arranging is a hobby, which has been a great source of blessing to me, and I hope other people. As I said, I come from Belfast in Northern Ireland. I was brought up in a very deprived area of Belfast, in a 2 up and 2 down, if you know what a Coronation Street type house is. We didn't have a garden, but my mother loved flowers and used to grow sweet pea in a tin bath in the backyard. From her I got my love of flowers. When I came to Stanborough Park Church, there was one lady who did the flowers every single week at the church. I started off working in the office in the Stanborough Press, and then later went on to work in the Trans-European Division in St Albans. This lady was the receptionist at the TED, and every week she used to do an arrangement on the desk for the delight of those who came in. And I used to ask her to teach me how to do it. And she said, oh, anybody can do it, but she would never let anyone watch her arranging. One year for my birthday, she bought me a little white dish, a pin holder and a piece of wire, and said, now get on with it. So I used to go to Watford Market on a Friday and buy some flowers and do a little arrangement in my home. I was married by this time. And one time she was going on holiday and said, would I do the flowers at the church? And I said, I wouldn't even know how to start. Oh, she said, just do it bigger than you do at home. So I went to the church armed with some conifer and some carnations, and I did an arrangement. In those days, Stanborough Park Church, the pews were around. When I went to look at it from the side, it was as flat as a pancake. It was not a good arrangement, but it started me on a path because this lady released in me a talent that I didn't know I had. Flower arranging has taken me to many places. I've been very privileged to take part in flower festivals in Canterbury Cathedral and St Albans Abbey, and I fairly regularly do flowers at Westminster Abbey. I'm on a list to do flowers for certain events at Westminster Abbey. So it's been a wonderful challenge. Meet many people. I've done flowers all over the world as well. But mainly it has been for meeting people outside the church. It's been an amazing way of sharing my faith. We have a rota. We have about 4 or 5 flower arrangers, and we do them on a rota. So most weeks there will just be an arrangement of flowers. But if it's anything special, then I will usually do an interpretive arrangement. For instance, for Remembrance Day, I did an arrangement of poppies. And people will come and talk to you. And I find men especially, when I do a sermon with flowers, or when I do something very interpretive in church, I find that it's mostly the men who will come and say, you know, I never thought flowers could speak in that way. And that really touches me. And I find children too are very open to the interpretation. Sometimes if I'm telling a children's story, I will use flowers. There's a flower that's called Liatris, and it's the only flower that blooms from the bottom to the top. And I will use that as an expression of how Christ takes us from where we are and then gradually opens us up. A carnation can be very closed, but by breathing on it and stroking it, you can open it. And I say that that's how we open ourselves to the influence of the Holy Spirit. You can take a gerbera, which can sometimes be a bit floppy, but if you wire it, it will stand straight and strong. And sometimes we need that help in our lives. So in many of these flowers, you can tell stories that actually connect with people.